are listening to LOA Recon with the Good Vibe coach Jeanette Ma, where we dissect the ins and outs and the art and science of conscious creation, all intended to amp up your manifesting game. Let's have some fun together. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. I'm trying to remember if I mentioned this in a prior episode. I know for sure I talked about it at Good Vibe University. We were doing a call on manifesting success stories, and I was talking about how earlier this year I had plugged into the vibration of physical thriving, and I'm having so much fun with it, including, I think I mentioned to you that one of the things that I manifested was a new stylist, not just a new stylist, but someone who gave me amazing hair. Oh my word, I love my hair. I love what she did. I loved it so much that I didn't even wait the amount of time I normally wait before I went back to her. There's a reason I'm going to tell this story, because it's got two LOA aspects in it that are worth being aware of. So I was going to be hanging out with a new love interest, and I thought, oh, I don't want him to see these roots, because it had been, several weeks since I went to the new girl who gave me amazing hair. And also my lowlights fade pretty fast. So I just wanted to feel really good. And I remember when I felt really good when she did my hair. So I went back to her, and I went back to her because I didn't want roots. And I didn't want, it was all faded into blonde. I wanted the dimension back. Okay, so I go back to the girl. That gave me the amazing hair just weeks ago. It's not like it's been months and months, but she was at a new shop, and I tracked her down to her new shop, and I went there, and I said, I like what you really did. Let's do that again. That's not exactly what I said. What I said was, these roots, no. And the low lights, I lost them. Can you put them back in? And she had a different idea. First of all, I got to tell you, when I sat down, she, it's a new shop. It's a nice enough shop. Okay, it was a really nice shop. And she said, just go ahead and put your purse right here. And she gestured at a counter right there. She said, put it right here. Clearly, that's where purses go. I didn't want to put my purse there. Should I tell you how much I like my purse? I like my purse a lot. I've had it forever. I love this purse. It's perfect. I tried replacing it. I can't. I love this purse. Okay. That doesn't sound very LOA savvy of me to say I can't. I like my purse. Let's just leave it at that. And she wanted me to set it there. And no part of me wanted to set it there. No part of me. Kind of like when you have a creepy uncle who you're supposed to give a hug to and you don't want to, I don't actually know that. I'm making that example up. I never felt like I had a creepy uncle. But you know how that's what it felt like though, but I don't want to. Just put your purse here. It seemed like it's a simple, easy request right here. It's clearly where they go. It's in sight. It's not like she was asking me to leave it somewhere I couldn't keep an eye on it. It's not like I had a lot of money in it. But I sure didn't want to put it down. And you know what I did? I put it down right where she gestured. Put it right there. It's literally just a few feet away from me. Put it down. And then I talked to her about how I didn't like my roots and how I didn't like how I lost the lowlights. Let's fix that. I'd like to look good again. She's got an idea about it. It was different. I was like, why don't we just do what we did before? She's like, no. She explains why it's going to be better than what my plan is. Faster, cheaper, better than my plan. Okay. But you know what? In that okay, I didn't feel the aligned okay. I felt the logical okay. Do you know the difference? So she does her thing. And oh my gosh, when she she likes to do a big reveal. So she turns you away from the mirrors as she's doing all the drying and stuff, and she flips me around. And oh my gosh, the last time she did a big reveal, oh my word, I could not stop. Like, it was the kind of reaction as a stylist you want your people to have. Well, she flips me around this time, and I was like, whoa, Nellie, it was not like before. It was not like before. It's so blonde. Oh my word, it's so blonde. Oh, no, I did not feel fabulous. Guess what happened? You know this, right? When I went to her before, I went with the vibration of body love. I went with the vibration of really, really, really good things going on. And when I sat in her chair the second time, I sat there with the vibration of, I don't like this. I don't like these roots. I don't like what happened over, the last several weeks. And I got different results with the same stylist. We both wanted the same thing. I sort of thought, I didn't feel that though when she said, okay. You know what? I did not feel the okay. I didn't feel the okay. Anyway, it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's blonde. What are you going to do? You're going to be blonde for a little while. And it's fine. It looks fine. Okay. Did you just hear Harvey sigh? Okay. So then, I went to pick up my purse. Oh, no. There was something underneath. My purse is discolored. Oh. Yeah, I'm having a moment of silence for my purse. Not really. I'm still keeping that purse. In fact, I wrote recently about how sometimes even very savvy creators spend a significant amount of time trying to figure out how to get what they want. They're thinking about how to get their kids into that school, or how to get the money saved up, or even just how to get through traffic in a good way, or how to get their spouse to agree with what they want. I mean, whatever big or small challenges on their radar that day, they sometimes even savvy creators spend a lot of time figuring it out. But it's a waste of time trying to figure out how to get what we want, because we already have an inner wisdom that knows the way there. Whatever it is that we want, our inner guidance knows everything about the situation. It knows the perfect timing. It knows the perfect people. It knows what to say and what not to say, what to do and what not to do. It knows how to avoid the obstacles and the dead ends and the ruined purses and the stupid hair. It knows how to avoid all of that. It knows how to get us to the happy outcome that we want. All we got to do is listen to it. Because it's leading us the way there the whole time. I know this. I've experienced it so many times I can't even count the number of successes I've had when I disengaged that logical, rational mind that thinks it has to figure it out itself and instead let guidance show me the way there. And yet, still, there I was, putting my purse down, telling her, okay, when my guidance was not on board. Those things happened without my inner being. That's what Abraham calls our inner wisdom. Oy. There I was doing, and I think I'm pretty good at this. I did it the other day too, when my contractor put in a new door for me. I said, I got to have the cat door put back in, this new door, because cats. We had a conversation about it. He wanted to put it up higher, and I said, dude, I can't. Cats aren't going to jump through. It needs to be this certain height. And he said, it just looks like it was really low before. And I was like, okay, maybe, but not that high. Okay, anyway, we talked about it, and at the end of that conversation, I didn't feel like it was the end of the conversation. Guidance was telling me, clarify this, reiterate this. Let's just make, and I was I already said, he already heard, don't be offensive by acting like, he didn't understand you. I didn't want to offend. That was it. You know how that turned out. I don't even need to tell you the rest of that story. Look, I know this stuff through and through, and yet still I sometimes deny or dismiss guidance because it might hurt someone's feelings, or because it's just hard to justify logically, or I don't want to ruffle someone's feathers or rock the boat or whatever. Here's the thing. Guidance doesn't always or even often make logical sense. Sometimes honoring it is going to upset someone. Sometimes we're going to risk ridicule from a friend or family member who thinks we're being unreasonable or ridiculous. Sometimes that guidance is going to contradict what we've learned before, what someone else has taught us. But how many times do we have to experience the inefficiency or the failure of ignoring inner wisdom in order to get better at honoring it? I know I'm talking to myself right now. I'm kind of mad at my own self because I feel like, girl, I was going to say no one's better at this than I am. And you know what? I like saying that because sometimes I like to speak things more strongly in favor of what I want, like no one's better at this than I am. And sometimes I think I speak more softly about the things that I don't want. Like, say, oh, that was not my favorite thing, instead of, it was a nightmare. But what I'm talking about here is we know how this works. Why aren't we more reliable at working it? And for those of you who are, hats off to you. I am reliable at working it. I listen to that guidance in so many ways, but obviously I got room for improvement. You know what? Some folks tell me the challenge is that they aren't exactly sure what their guidance is saying. Like they don't recognize guidance. They aren't sure. You know what? That's worth getting clear on, which we can do with practice. The more we listen for it, the better we hear it. The short answer, though, is that guidance is always whatever feels better. Whatever feels better. Whatever's calling you within, whatever nudges you're feeling internally, whatever intuitive prompts or whatever inspirations arrive, that's guidance. That's how we recognize it. It's what feels better. In fact, you might recognize it as you're considering different options. It's the option that feels just even a tiny little fraction bit better than the other choices. And you might not. That's what we want to tune into. Listen for what feels better. It might be subtle. It might be subtle if we haven't been listening to it for a while. When we get really good at listening to it, we recognize when our arm does not want to put our purse down there. Yeah, whatever feels better is our inner wisdom saying, this way to dreams come true. So when we learn to feel out whatever feels better, we can trust that path. It's going to take us straight to whatever it is everything that we want. It's a key tool for conscious creators. And when we get really good at this, we're not actually doing anything that isn't enjoyable. Yes, it is possible to live that way. I'm still working on that myself, apparently, but making progress. I'm getting better at it every day. So in the meantime, let's all be more willing to ignore the experts in our lives, the external experts in our lives. Let's be willing to upset our helpers or offend our friends or loved ones when their input isn't what our inner wisdom is. It's just worth giving our guidance some credit. That's what I'm saying. That's the efficient and the enjoyable path to dreams come true. I'm going to be listening to this again as my own reminder to self for getting better at this. And I'm also going to give myself credit where I already practice it really well. And I do practice it really well in a lot of really, really, really cool ways. Oh, some really cool ways. But I'll leave it there for now. I'll thank you for listening, and I'll wish you happy manifesting. Thanks, everyone.